Hey guys, what's going on? This is Unreported back again with another video. And today's video, um, this one I would title and propose with a question. Which is more real? Mainstream media or social media? And mainstream media, we know obviously is our major news networks, newspapers, certain articles, or even certain mainstream magazines that are established and have been out for years. And our social media would include anything from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, our YouTube, all of this stuff. The internet, which in many ways is the great equalizer and a useful tool to disseminate information from different sources and different content creators. Obviously, we also have audio podcasts, that allow us to receive information. And so, the question I propose to you today, in your opinion, which is more real, mainstream media or social media? Now let's consider some topics that has been covered on the mainstream media. We have the area of politics, and as you can see right now, President Trump is been impeached by the House, and so you see the stories in the newspapers, or you see Fox News, CNN, CBS report, and that's just one area. But then you have the other side of the media, or I would say the new media, because it hasn't been around that long, but it has definitely spread extremely fast, and it has proven itself to the point I would say that social media is established, and it's a stalwart that is here to stay. On YouTube alone, you have, I believe, it's something like 400 and something million pieces of content uploaded, I believe, every minute. Don't quote me on that. Now, we've had the mainstream media for years, and I mentioned the area of politics, but now that's just the different channels and some of the networks that I mentioned. You have Time magazine. Obviously, I have an old copy of a Life magazine. You have People's magazine, and you even have some of the junk or garbage media, such as the Inquirer, or the Star. But these are different forms of media, and those are more the established forms of media that has been around for a long time. But now, all of a sudden, you have these different streams of new media: YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, audio podcast, Spotify, iTunes. Also, the radio is part of the old stream media, but now here we are with the new stream media. And on the social media, I'll have to be honest with you, I feel that you can get information a lot faster, and in my opinion, sometimes it seems like it's more genuine, or the narrative is not controlled, because you have many different individuals or content creators that are disseminating this information from many different sources, and they give it from a different perspective, whereas the mainstream media has a controlled narrative, and so they show you the perspective or present to you the narrative that they want. When you deal with the news, basically they can give you a report on something, but it may be more scripted or controlled to only show this side of the story. Whereas if you go to YouTube or say social media, you will have many different individuals that will be there on the ground, and they're telling you different sides in the full story. Now, understand, on social media, yes, there is some stuff that is fake, but you have certain content that's for entertainment purposes only. And sure, you do have some people that like to stir the pot, and if you want to say put out fake news or maybe propaganda. But I'm talking about for the stuff that they report about that's supposed to be real. And I have found that I find a lot of information out before it comes to the mainstream media on social media or even on YouTube. One of the things I would definitely I put out is on social media. I found out about certain things in science that are going on, such as the artificial womb. And this I will be discussing in a separate video, about the artificial womb, where they are seeking to produce basically an animal fetus, human fetus, and carry it in an artificial womb without the female. And the artificial womb, for the sake with human beings, they in a sense are seeking to replace the human female as the childbearer or as the carrier, and the woman will no longer have to go through the gestation period. So that's just one topic that I found out on social media or on YouTube that the mainstream media doesn't particularly report on. I've never seen it on any of the major news networks, or if they have, it's something that they covered quickly and they slid it by and kept going. Whereas if you go to YouTube or social media or even Google, you'll find tons of information, articles, videos, podcasts on the artificial womb or different things that are going on in science. Another would be the advent of artificial intelligence and automation. Now, you hear maybe a little bit on the mainstream media, but they don't necessarily go into detail to reveal to the public a lot of information of what is going on with artificial intelligence, how it will impact us, and also with automation, to include how it will impact the jobs and the economy. But I go to social media and YouTube, I find documentaries on it, videos, tons of information, loads of information on artificial intelligence and automation, what they plan to do with it, how they plan to usher it in. You find out the what, where, when, how, and why. But you don't see this openly put out on mainstream media. And the question you have to ask is, why is that? Next would be the economics. Yes, you do have you have the Wall Street Journal, and you also have certain channels on the mainstream media that deals with the stock market, the economy. But even to a certain extent, I still feel that social media is more honest and upfront, and they put out a lot more information on what is going on with the economy, and they get it from reputable sources. I mean, they put the stuff out there, whereas in the mainstream media, you do have channels in certain periods and hours where they do have channels for finances and the economy, and they mention certain things, but it's still not fully blown or released to the public or numbers in mass. Many times these programs may be put on hours, either maybe when most of the people are at work, or either maybe sleeping. So you don't necessarily, the masses don't get to see this information on a consistent basis, where if you go to YouTube or social media, you can find tons of information on the economy, to include different shows or reports that report about what's coming, the bubble busting, with the housing, bank runs, worldwide, how they intend to go to a cashless society. All these different things that are going on, and events that are happening right up under our nose, but that we are not necessarily informed of till the last minute. So I propose a question to you. Which, in your opinion, is more real? Is it the mainstream media that have moguls that are in charge of it and that utilize a controlled narrative to push a certain agenda out? Or would it be social media such as YouTube, your Twitter, your Instagrams, with tons of individuals that are bringing you a report on topics and subjects from different angles with an uncontrolled narrative? Consider it. Which do you think? Which is more real and more genuine? Mainstream media, or is it social media? Consider it and think about it, and let's dialogue. Let's have the conversation. I mean, the one thing I do like about social media or YouTube is that, which I've done on some of the topics, I actually decided to go and research to see if what these people were saying was real. Now, obviously, with the mainstream media, you can definitely research and see what they're saying, but what I found is that the mainstream media may only report something from one angle. They don't give you the full story or full development. I mean, I use this is a good analogy. Whenever they show the White House, they always show the presidential lawn, and you see how it looks all good and glamorous, but right across the street used to be crack houses or the ghetto. But you would never know that unless you're actually there at the White House, saying at the gate, and then you look right across the street, you have an urban ghetto. That's how I see the mainstream media. They're able to present to you an image, or it's like taking a picture of something from a certain angle, whereas only that particular part may look good, whereas the rest around it is raggedy, and they just present to you that particular part of it. Whereas when you deal with social media, they are going to give you the White House, and then they're going to give you what's actually around it on Pennsylvania Avenue. You're going to see what's actually in the local neighborhood as well, as the White House. So you get the whole picture, or many different angles, and therefore you are able to better research and piece it all together. That's my take. I'm trying to keep this as short and sweet as possible, but please, let's dialogue about it. In your opinion, what do you think is more real? Mainstream media or social media? The name of this video again, which is more real or genuine? Mainstream media or social media? That's all I have for this video. Just something to ponder and to think about. Please leave comments at the bottom of the video. The way to do that, you have to either be on a computer or either a cell phone or a tablet, and scroll all the way down. Leave your comments, share your thoughts, share your opinions. Please hit the like button. If you don't like the video, hit the unlike button also, to help push the video to the top of the feed so more people can see it. Please share the video. Please subscribe to my channel, Eric Broadus YouTube, EricBrodus YouTube, or Eric Broadus YouTube. For those who subscribe, tap the bell so you can get future subscriptions, live streams, or podcasts. And I also have an audio podcast known as Snack Thoughts. That's SNAKZ Thoughts, THOUGHTS, Snack Thoughts. So go over there and check out my audio podcast too, guys, and share it and subscribe. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Which is more real, mainstream media or social media? Thanks, guys, for listening. Thanks, guys, for watching. I appreciate your time, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out.